interesting the way the timing of these interviews work out, because May 15th, 2010 was the date that B.o.B Presents The Adventures of Bobby Ray named the #1 album in the country.
You know, I try to stay away from like a lot of stats all the time. You know, I don't want to get too caught up in stats. I'd rather just play the game and then look at the stats at the end of the game. But you know, we work hard on that album, man. Like we, you know, just my whole team, like everything that it takes to maintain that type of movement, you know what I mean?
You know, again, looking back on it a year later, how unconventional for an artist that, at least for mainstream radio, was relatively unknown. And your first single, A Guy on the Hook, Bruno Mars, who was also relatively unknown, for that song to be accepted the way it was, I mean, again, do you look back on it and scratch your head like, wow, how did we do that?
I definitely didn't think that everything was going to happen as quickly as it did. You know, like it definitely took me by surprise. But I was always prepared for it. I always wanted it. You know, I always wanted. You know, I always saw myself here. You know, I never doubted it. But you know, just when you're as an underground artist, as I was coming up, and you know, just trying to break into, you know, you define your own success, but you know, just trying to get to the point where you have a steady income as an artist. You know, that takes some years to get. You know, I think that fire that keeps you doing that's what creates the type of stamina that will allow you to continue to be a world artist or a touring artist or whatever type of artist that you want to be.
You mentioned earlier how much hard work went into The Adventures of Bobby Ray in the production of that album and then in the release. Obviously, your label mate Lupe Fiasco, his struggles well documented as well with his album. It's something you could relate to, I'm sure.
Definitely. You know, I feel like with Lupe, he really embraced it. You know, even though it's a real challenging thing to really, you know, go through the you know, the dualism of an artist and the business side of it. You know, but you know, it's almost kind of like a necessary evil in a sense. You know, with just the forces that be that oppose the type of music you're trying to make. You know, so for me, I always wanted to. I've always been frank my whole life. I've always been like the type of person to say something and they'd be like, whoa, say that kind of too soon. But, you know, it's a gift and a curse. It's a double-edged sword, you know.
And you toured with Lupe right when Nothing on You was becoming a huge hit. So I would imagine even on the road, you guys had a lot of conversations and he kind of tried to prepare you as much as he could for this.
Definitely. You know, like Lupe really looked out for me in a huge way. Especially at the point that I was at. You know, I remember on tour, he presented me with a cake for my album release day. It was like album birthday.
Oh, wow.
And he bought an album that day on stage. So that was a very memorable moment for me, you know, at that time.
Recently, the demo of Airplanes that Lupe had cut had leaked onto the internet. Did you know the history behind that song before you cut your verses for it or no?
Definitely. You know, every song that, I mean, just honestly speaking, you know, in the music industry, there are songs that float around for some years that have nothing but a hook and a beat. You know, it's a beat with a hook on it. And a lot of the times, those are the songs that the label has, you know, as like, all right, we're going to push these songs. This song is going to be, you know, it's almost like an outfit, you know. And as an artist, sometimes it's frustrating because it's like, I don't want to wear that outfit. I want to make my own outfit and wear it, you know, because I have a sense of style also. And I'm pretty sure my fans like the type of outfits that I wear. But, you know, at the same time, you know, a lot of people say, you know, A&Rs and labels are, you know, wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. But sometimes, you know, artists, I have to admit, sometimes us as artists don't know what we're talking about. You know, sometimes we get too caught up in just what we want, and it becomes more about proving a point than it does making music for the fans. So you really got to find that balance between when to say, no, I'm good, I don't want that, like I'm good, and saying, okay, I'll try it out, let's see. You know, because you can't compromise what you are as an artist just for what you're supposed to be, you know what I mean, what you're supposed to be doing.
What can we expect from you forthcoming, man?
Right now, I'm working on my album, and you know, I feel like this is a very special project. You know, I feel like it's even more special than the first album. You know, I feel like it'll really be something that you know, people will embrace as a. I don't even want to say. You know, I'm not gonna say that.
No, you can't go that far to stop.
I gotta stop. It's like I don't, you know.
All right, well, just tell me this much. Did you end up getting in the studio with Pat Monahan yet or no?
Not yet.
Lead singer from Train, of course, we're talking about. Not yet?
Not yet. I actually, you know, he's actually in Atlanta a lot, but, you know, we're going to get in and, like, possibly, maybe, you know, I can't give away too much. Yo, he's good. He's good.